Hello and a very good evening to all of you guys. Today is the 14th of March 2022 and a very good rally today. I had not expected this kind of a movement when the market opened. Let's see here what happened. See, the market opened with this green candle, but it was not a bullish candle. So the first candle was not really giving any impression there. It wasn't giving an impression of a very strong bullish trending day, and it wasn't even showing a very bad bearish sign either, since the candle was green in color, but it I mean the body was green in color, but it had wicks on both sides. So at such times these such candles are not really suggestive of any specific direction. So I wasn't really sure what kind of direction the market was taking until I actually happened to see this candle here. If you can see that candle, that was the 9:45 a.m. candle, and you can see that it was taking support exactly at the CPR. And so in Nifty, if you see, the CPR was an average size CPR, and the 9:45 a.m. candle was taking support exactly at the CPR. Although that was no real sign for me to go long, because that is not exactly how I trade, but at that time it had kind of given me a sense of a direction that the market was trying to catch. But then again, I knew that the here was the PDH and the day high also. So that today's high and the previous day high were both at the same level. And again, you can see that here again, the same high has acted as a resistance. So again, here I wasn't really sure what kind of trend the market was actually catching. I thought for a long time that the day was going to be a sideways range bound day till 10:50 a.m. And then this particular candle happened at 10:55 a.m. and it was a very strong bullish candle here, and it had taken out the high of the current day. We'll just mark a line here, as well as the high of the previous day. And let's just go back a bit. See here, we had seen that from the previous day high, the price had fallen 150 points in the previous trading session, that is on the 11th of March. Now, having said that, I was expecting price to break out of that zone, and here what happened was, when this candle took resistance, I thought frankly that the price was going to go and hit CPR, uh, the central pivot, and then if price had tried to break the CPR after some consolidation, and it had made a certain red candle here in this level here, if it had made a red candle, then I would have shorted that red candle. But I was not really certain of what this candle meant, so I was not taking any position till that time. But when I saw the 10:55 a.m. candle, which was this particular candle, the green candle, uh, since it had taken out the PDH, the DH, that is the day high, as well as it was a current mini supply zone. So why was it mini supply zone? Because price had fallen from here and it had taken the resistance here as well. So then during such cases, whenever you see the R1 pivot here like this, which is so close to the previous day high, usually I'm tempted to take a quick scalp. So there are certain scalping strategies that I also use. So what today was one of those days. I usually tend to take a quick scalp whenever I see that the R1 pivot and the PDH are this close by. So what does it give me? It actually gives me an advantage here, because whenever I see a strong bullish green candle break out of the PDH as well as the day high as well as the supply zone, which was from the previous session as well as from today's session, then I know one thing for certain, that the price is going to be pulled to the R1 pivot. And I don't care what happens to the price later on after that, All I care about is whether price will reach the R1 pivot or not. So here usually what I see is that once the previous day high is broken, the price goes and reaches the R1. The further that R1 is from the PDH, the lesser the chances are. So I don't initiate such trades when the R1 is far away from the PDH. But today was one such day, and as you can see, I had shorted the 16700 put. The moment I got a confirmation, that was at 11:06, so I had actually traded on the 11:05 candle, which was this particular candle here, the red candle. Why did I trade on that candle? Because I wanted a confirmation that the high of the breakout candle was definitely and convincingly been broken. So that was my trade today, and I had shorted it for 205.60, as you can see, and immediately in the 11:14, that is the 11:10 candle. Now what was the 11:10 candle? See, this was the 11:10 candle. The moment the price reached the R1 pivot here, I had closed the trade. So that was a very quick scalp for me. I usually don't routinely initiate scalping strategies, but on certain days when I do see that the market is catching a quick trend based on pivot points, I usually deploy such scalping strategies. So, and for those of you who don't know what a scalp is, it's a quick trade when in which you go get in and get out very quickly. As you can see, the trade lasts for a very short time. As you can see here, the trade lasted for only about 8 minutes. So that is still longer actually. Quick scalpers probably get out in 1 to 3 minutes, but I at least trade in the trade for a little while longer than that. But that is the story of scalping, and in scalping you usually use high volume since you keep a very short stop loss. Here the mechanism of 1 is to 2, 1 is to 3 does not work. You're looking for very quick points here, and you're not really worried about what kind of risk reward you're entering into with. But you can go in with very short stop losses, and you can go in with a larger quantity also. So typically why my entry was in the 11:06 candle, which was the candle here, that is 11:05 to 11:10. Why? Because I could see that I was getting a better entry wherein my SL would be at a reasonable length here, and my entry was pretty much close to the PDH. So that I saw that I at least got a fair enough or a reasonable risk reward there. But usually in scalping you can see that risk rewards are not really important. You should just be sure about your strategy. So let's see what were the levels that were broken today. See, here we had marked at the level of 16768.80, we had marked a supply zone. So I'm talking about this particular area here, and you can see the type of price action that price has shown here. See, it took a long time, a long consolidation, after which that level was convincingly broken around this area, and then price after that continued to rally upwards. So today the part of the gap was again filled here. See, you can see that this arrow suggests gap. So there was gap here and the gap was partially filled, and really when there is such a strong bias towards one side, usually no levels are respected. So price does take a halt at the levels that we mark usually, but again another second supply zone was also broken at the level of 16768, and if I'm not mistaken, tomorrow price should stay sideways given the wide CPR, and after that soon enough this gap will be filled. Usually markets don't like gaps, so later on sooner rather than later these gaps are filled. So what we will do is we'll just mark these, the remainder of this gap, to this extent. Okay, we will delete these levels here, and now this CPR will be extended as a virgin CPR. So let's just extend this level first, and now let's go ahead and mark the virgin CPR for today, I mean for tomorrow. But this CPR might not hold as a very strong resistance since it's not a very wide CPR. So this virgin CPR might not hold whenever price returns to it. And you can see that there's been a lot of price action around this area. Let me just mark it with a line, and you can see here. Okay, here price was taking resistance here in this area, and then it was taking support within this area. So that level, once broken, has uh, consistently provided support to all these candles here, after which the price bounced. So you can say that that level is an important level. But since it again lies within a very fairly wide CPR, it's okay if you don't mark that level. And that is the only important level as an intraday level that I see given by the market today. One more level that I see is the level which was broken today. It is the level, see this level, the PDH, that was broken today. But again, it is very close to the S1 pivot. So it is okay if you don't mark that level also. Why is it important? Because the price here was taking resistance in this very zone. It was taking resistance for a long time, and then it was broken, right? So there was a direction of price at that time. So whenever price changes direction at that time, it is an important level. But if it coincides with another pivot or so, then it's okay to not mark that level. And I don't see any other level here. I will update these levels on Twitter after extending all these levels, and you will get all those fresh levels. So what we will do is we will now jump into Bank Nifty, and let's see Bank Nifty. Bank Nifty also same story. The 10:55 a.m. candle here in Bank Nifty also had jumped out of the previous day range, as well as the R1 pivot. It had broken the R1 pivot also. So no real other entry confirmation here in Bank Nifty. So in Nifty, the trade that I showed you, that was the only trade I had. In Bank Nifty, we had a fairly narrow CPR today. You can see this CPR. So what we can do is we can just extend this box forward. It's a virgin CPR, so let's just extend it forward. Okay, this is one level which we need to delete today. We have a wide CPR tomorrow, which is no surprise because today has been a trending day, and usually we see that in indices, once there is a huge trending day, the next day, the consecutive day, is a sideways or a range bound day. Okay, there is one area again that I see here which is important, which we can mark here. But this line, this level of 35092.50 again lies right between the CPR. You can see the CPR here. So since it lies right between the CPR, I don't think it's a very important level to be marked, CPR itself being an important level. So for the next session, that really does not matter. So if you want, you can just extend this line upwards a little bit, and then you can draw a box below it for the PDL, the demand zone. If you want to mark zones, if you're comfortable marking zones. Usually, psychologically, we are comfortable marking zones because we know that it's a zone. So it's an important level. Sometimes it happens while trading that we give more importance to zones. That is just a visual importance, but usually it happens that we give more importance to zones and they attract more attention. So instead of just marking lines, I usually make it a point to mark boxes around zones, demand zone or supply zone or whatever. So I think guys, this should be it for the price action analysis of today, and important levels for Nifty and Bank Nifty shall be updated on the Telegram channel, and we will meet again in the next price action analysis video, that is for tomorrow. if you have liked this video, please hit the like button and also subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon so you're notified each time I post a new video. And do please leave your comments in the comment section below. I definitely make it a point to answer the comments and your questions to the best of my abilities. Thank you so much guys for all your love and support. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye and have a great day.